Everyone, good morning. Good to have you on the show here. So, do you guess this is good time to start putting some money at work, or you reckon there's more to go in this direction?
I think judicious selection of stocks, plays a very, very, very important role now. I think the universe of stocks which are worth investing in has definitely narrowed down sharply because of the development over the last 2 months. But people need to be careful. Is this a buying opportunity? Certainly from the longer term, yes. But as I said earlier, it's not buying the market, it's buying individual stocks here and there. I personally believe that the markets work on three pillars. One is fundamentals, liquidity, and sentiment. And I think sentiment has taken a major hit. Started with a small tinkering as far as the Texas scores of long-term capital gains, and the bond yields went up. The U.S. markets and the global markets came down because of bond yields going up in the U.S. Then we had the Nirav Modi issue, complete loss of faith right now in the banking system, maybe a little bit over-exaggerated. But at the end of it all, you are now staring at what the global cues are thanks to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has been one global leader which we all believe he will do what he wants to do, and that is the big fear. Now what happens next? Will it lead to intellectual property problems here and there? So I think the whole market is right now in the midst of complete fear from complete greed, which was 3-4 months ago. So whenever there is excessive fear, it turns out to be an opportunity to buy. But in the same breath, I wish to state that nowhere I'm suggesting this could be the bottom. We could possibly be a little 5% away from here, but you can't wait for the bottom. And certainly there are individual stocks which could have it bottomed out and which could provide long-term opportunities. So my advice to our investors is start looking at buying opportunities and don't go by one fad which normally investors have. The stocks have come down, one should buy it because what comes down will go up. Not necessarily so, but there are stocks which I believe have been completely widowed, completely ignored at valuations where I feel the downside could be very limited and the upside could turn out to be quite good over a period of time. And I personally believe investors should start looking at them and start putting some money in them.
Okay, why don't you name them?
I would say some widowed stocks when I mentioned was, I think Tata Motors is one, a stock which I have completely given up on for the last 2 years or 1.5 years. But I believe price makes me feel it is available at a price lower than what the DVR was just 18-20 months ago. And I fail to recollect as to when is the last time I read a buy report or even a report from any broking house in Tata Motors. Completely ignored at 320, 325, maybe a 10 rupees downside here and there. But I think it's the best beta play if you ask me in this market, because if you look at the value of the business, I think that is a small, minuscule right now, and people are completely ignoring it. Nobody talks about it, completely underowned. So that certainly makes me feel it's a decent trading play among the frontline stocks, along with something like an LIC housing. Has underperformed the bank nifty by nearly 40% in the last 18 months. And I think at the present level, I don't see a downside of more than 5-7% in LIC housing, with certainly an upside of more than 15-20% because we are looking at a CAGR EPS growth of around 15% over the next 3 years. And the third would be the metal pick, Vedanta. Ex-dividend now 21.5 rupees, going at 275 rupees. Can it come to 260, 265? Answer is yes, it can. But then are you trying to say that anything that you buy is not going to go 5% lower from here? Certainly not. And if you believe that you're an investor, you should ignore that 5% further fall in the stock and buy. And a 320, 330 can come anytime and you make your money. That is the way one should be looking at frontline stocks right now, where the downside is limited in 3 stocks I mentioned, with clear disclosures.
Okay, so Tata Motors, LIC Housing and Vedanta are a couple of stocks that you're looking at. Mehrboon, hi, good morning. I wanted to chat a little bit about the real estate space. I mean, we just heard Blackstone investing a huge amount in Indiabulls real estate. And, lately a lot of PE players have been interested in the rental arms of real estate companies. We saw it with GIC and Prestige as well. Anything that you like in this space for a long-term view?
I would say that I would go with possibly the best company even in terms of the balance sheet, and that would be Godrej Properties. Outside that real estate space, I still believe that the pain which we have been seeing over the last 2, 3, 4 years, I think is not behind us. It's not going to be easy for this sector to revive. The only thing is, again, it's a sector which is completely underowned. And people may argue now that with stocks, risk aversion coming place, people will go back to real estate and start investing in it. Certainly, I'm not saying that that is not a wrong way to do a little bit of propaganda for real estate as such as an investment asset class. But I still believe that I don't have the courage, heart to come out and recommend on a powerful channel like yours to buy into real estate stocks. But if one wants an exposure, I would go in for this affordable housing companies, maybe something like a Ganesh Housing or something like those type of companies, because I believe that a lot is yet to be heard, especially with elections 14 months away. Affordable housing is going to continue to, people are going to continue to discuss about, and with valuations now having come down very sharply in most of these companies also, I think there could be a trading opportunity here and there. But as an asset class or as a segment, whether I should buy into real estate stocks, my answer would be no. So I would stick to something like a Godrej Properties and maybe something like an Podar Housing, Ashana Housing, or Ganesh Housing in the affordable housing segment.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mehrboon. We have to take a break. On that note, we are coming back. We'll have pre-opening rates and more.